I don't mind this.
This one's for you.
Oh, this morning you said it was really bad.
No.
Oh, this is a different one.
I really struggle to find good music for this. Poor Travis. It's like, what did I get myself into?
No, I'm listening to this, and I'm trying to find the girl with the white rabbit tattoo.
Well, I really struggled. So I try and find some sort of thematic song, whether it's by title or something. And I was like looking up science. There's only a million songs out there, so I'm looking up like science and this. And there was a song called Science and Innovation. And I'm like, oh my God. And I hit play. It's by your friend, Alex Productions, who's this guy we always end up using. But it was so terrible. It was really bad.
That's what I was expecting, a bad one.
And it was only a minute long. And so there was just no way to do it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This isn't particularly good, but I was expecting bad.
No, you wanted something.
It's not so bad.
No,
You
it's not
wanted
bad.
something a
It's
little
not good.
fast. The last few have been too slow, I think.
Yeah, it's nice.
You wanted something
Yeah.
faster. So the music, legally, we're obligated to say it's by Electronic, and it's called Fast and Intense. And it was in response to your lackluster feeling about the last few. So,
Wow.
yeah. He was just like, I'm like, oh, well, that's a great start.
I mean, if you can't get the music right.
By the way, the
geez.
last few podcasts we'll put on YouTube, they've been rejected because of the music, which offends me because we go out of our way to make sure to credit what is supposed to be royalty-free music. So,
But not rejected
so
by
YouTube,
Spotify
if you're
or Apple?
listening right now, I've said who it's by.
Alex Studio.
No, by Electronic.
By Electronic.
Yeah. And now I'm taking my sweatshirt off. You had that jacket on when you came in from riding.
man.
Is that a motorcycle jacket?
Yeah, my motorcycle jacket, indeed.
Did you ride that thing all over the city? Or?
I do, and it's a beautiful day out there. It's like 40 degrees.
40 degrees.
Sun is up. A little nip, chill in the air.
Do you have those giant hand muffs that those guys? Does that take the cool factor
No,
away?
those are just so
From
not
the
cool.
drive.
No, you will not find that on my motorcycles. No.
I don't know. They do look warm.
A pox upon your house for even mentioning it.
They're like sleeping bags for your hands.
Speaking of those mopeds, I was taking a photo in a biking lane, and I because I was taking a picture of a building, and I saw no one coming, and then a moped just starts screaming at me in the bike lane. That's
bike
not
lane.
allowed, right?
Oh, they're constantly in the bike lanes.
Yeah, doesn't seem safe. I gave him a look,
I'm sure
I
that
think he
went
was very afraid of me. But anyway, we have somebody way too cool to be here, as far
give
as
me a
I'm
break.
concerned. Showing up on his motorcycle, he's traveling everywhere. He's got the great voice for the podcast.
Come on, guys.
You do have a good voice
Yeah.
for the podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Are you looking for something to do?
I have a face for radio.
Yeah, no, that's my line.
I didn't say that.
That's my line, man. Well, welcome.
Yeah,
Glad you're
appreciate
finally
it.
here. I know it took some effort to get here. Mostly, it seems like you've just been traveling like crazy.
Yeah, I've been traveling a little bit. Yeah.
Like, what are some of the cities, say, in the last like 3 or 4 weeks?
Let's see, 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. Let's see if I can remember them all. Miami.
Food Crawl City.
Yeah, we've been there
Miami, DC,
Food Crawl City.
before my day.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Maybe one day.
So all over.
Yeah. London next week.
Oh, nice.
And then back home and New York. Finish up the year with New York, Chicago.
Food Crawl City. Food Crawls are both.
Yeah, both.
Where are you
both
from?
awesome.
Are you from around here? or-
Originally from New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, born in Brooklyn, raised in Harlem. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And what brought you to Boston?
Like everybody else, almost work or school, and
Yeah.
in my case, work.
Okay.
I moved here in 2000. Yeah, it's been 25
Yeah,
years.
same with me. It's when I came here.
Yeah. The city's changed a lot. In those
Yeah, I mean, I
25
had a
years.
gallery in the South End, and the highway was still up,
Yeah.
right? And like all of a
Right.
sudden one day I got detoured down into the tunnel. I'm like I didn't really think about it. I wasn't even anticipating it. And all
Talk
of a sudden
about it.
everything changed.
A single project that almost single-handedly changed the face and the future of downtown in this city. That the Big Dig was, and we're still feeling the effects of that.
Still feeling it, but it's great.
Yeah, it's
I mean, the
great.
Greenway is amazing.
Greenway's amazing. The public art on the Greenway
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yeah, and there still could be more, I think.
Yeah.
There's so much more.
For sure.
Yeah. And can you quickly, for the Dave Downings and Noah Koretzes out there who get mad at me for not doing a good job of introducing our guest, can you tell us what you're doing,
Yeah.
who you're working with, and what's bringing you to all those cities?
Yeah, sure. So, what my official title is Head of Industries for Leasing Advisory.
That's on your business card?
That's like, well, yeah, if I had a business card, that would be it. But, as I say it, it like means absolutely nothing, right? What does that actually even mean? Basically, for JLL, the second largest commercial real estate advisory in the world, we've decided to take all of the tech and science undergirded industries out there and sort of pocket them together under single leadership. So life sciences, healthcare, data centers, energy, aerospace and defense.
And that wasn't the case when you first joined JLL.
That's correct.
Because you were originally just life science.
When I first joined, I was just life sciences.
They're like, give this guy more stuff.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. And so, now I'm working with companies in all of those sectors.
Which makes sense because a lot of these ecosystems, it's not just life science, right?
If you're going to survive in this
especially
new
now,
industrial economy, if you're single sourcing towards a particular single technology, you've put your entire city and economy at risk. So the most vibrant, verdant cities are multi or transdisciplinary. That should be the economic development goal.
And Travis, so your role is as a thought leader, advisor, strategist, supporting the JLL like global transactions teams.
Yeah, the global leasing and transactions teams.
Cool.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds fun.
It's
other than all the airplanes.
Yeah, right.
So where do you?
I've now traveled enough to have favorite airports.
Oh yeah. Where do you stand then in between, in the relationship of a tenant and a landlord? Help me understand that.
So we work on both sides.
Okay.
We have great client relationships with the landlords that have millions of square feet of space all over the world, and so we work directly with them to help them find tenants.
Okay.
I'll work with them trying to understand the market, what they should be building, what they shouldn't be building, where they should be acquiring or building space, where they shouldn't be, and just generally understand their exposure to the marketplace.
It's funny because obviously there's a lot of money at stake and there's a lot of space.
You have no idea.
And you're involved early.
Indeed.
Why?
Or too late sometimes.
Or sometimes too late. Is it too late? Yeah. As we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Sometimes too late. Depending, I'll just leave it at that. Sometimes
that's why we start recording a few minutes later.
And can we do also just for Drew's benefit and listeners, like leading up to JLL, you had some really interesting roles in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
You're very kind in saying it that way. My mother used to say I had career ADHD.
I think,
but I just like
our
to
moms
think
should get together.
You're right.
Yeah. My mom still doesn't know what I do. She goes, when I talk to my friends, what should I tell them you do?
You're a host of a podcast.
And a damn good one too.
Yeah. Well, thanks. So anyway, sorry. Yeah.
No, my background is kind of, Jesse, we met when I was on my fourth or fifth career, back when I was at the Kendall Square Association, the first executive director of the Kendall Square Association.
Oh, wow.
Which was a really big hire and big move for the organization.
Yes. Having leadership at that moment in Kendall Square's history.
Was this around 2007 or 8 even?
Yeah, this was 2000. This was 2009.
Yeah, okay.
I had just left the where was I before that? Gosh, I'm getting my...
I can pull your LinkedIn out.
Oh,
Drew, help Travis out a little bit.
I had just left. I was the chief operating officer of the Massachusetts Convention Center Authority.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We owned BCEC in Southie, Heinz Convention Center, Boston Common Garage, and also the Mass Mutual Center out in Springfield. So I had just left there and come on board at the KSA right when we were about to molt again into being the sort of the innovation juggernaut that we are today.
Yeah, it's like post downturn, like coming out of that, Kendall exploded.
Yeah.
And that's when you, Jesse, were kind of getting involved in that area as well, right?
Yeah, I had been working there probably 4 or 5 years prior to Travis coming on board, but immediately he stepped in and was like, "Tell me about this place."
Yeah.
You know, and like we got along from the beginning.
Yeah, man. I shamelessly take credit for everything that you did in Kendall Square. Everybody always asks me what the key turning point was in Kendall Square's history, and I don't take credit for it, Jesse. I always tell them it was you. It was you.
That's quite generous.
You were the one that had the idea and the conviction. It was more than the idea. It was the conviction that if the occupiers in Kendall Square would just shut down their cafeterias.
Well, that was a battle.
Yeah, that was hand-to-hand combat. You remember that?
Yeah.
If they would just shut down their cafeterias in favor of ground floor retail, restaurants, cafes, like everything you experience right now in Kendall today that makes it so unique. If you would just allow that to happen, they would create an environment that would be super beneficial to the workday, to their people, to overall happiness, to community engagement, to create a place that people love, right? And you were responsible for convincing people to do that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had the idea. It was just, how do we execute on it?
How do you execute on it? How do you underwrite it? How do you construct a pro forma around it? And, that was super important.
Yeah, and Jesse's hard to ignore, which is good.
Wait, so we'll come. Maybe we'll come back to Kendall Square stuff, but then you were with KSA for 5 years.
I was with KSA for about 3 years. I went back to the Boston Foundation.
Oh, that's right.
And led their grant making and community investment programs. Then went on to be the CEO of the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center, which is, for those who don't know, it's a roughly $1.6 billion life sciences investment agency here in Massachusetts.
And then that was the last role prior to JLL.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I took a little bit of a hiatus, a sharp 90-degree turn, like a good life sciences guy. I had to try my hand at an early stage biotech startup as a CEO. COVID kind of kicked me in the wheres.
Yeah, everyone
on that one, but then came over to JLL.
Wow. So you guys are back in the same world again.
We are back.
Yeah. And Jesse was mentioning food crawls after you kept mentioning cities. Can you explain what we do on these food crawls? Because this sort of leads into my next question.
Yeah, it's actually great timing. I'll tell you why it's great timing. I mean, we've been, as you know, this was our 13th year picking a different city to go to as a team to just walk, right? And I think it started as just these exercise. There were food crawls. It was just like me and Dave originally, and then the team started to grow, walking around, like eating our way through these different cities.
Yeah, using food as a way of meeting
with chefs and restaurateurs. It was just a great way of understanding
totally
the cultural essence of some of these places and social essence of them. In some ways not, obviously. But, they've evolved over time where we've started to go to places that we feel like beyond just the food and beverage can help us better understand our work here in context with other locales. So I'll skip where we've been. You heard some of it, but we just came back last month from Raleigh-Durham.
Oh.
And,
love Raleigh-Durham.
Okay, so
we want to hear why.
Yeah.
Well, when we were there, we talked a lot about how...
And people down there talked a lot about Cambridge and Boston.
And it was, while we were there, the thinking was like, oh, this is where you would go. And these are the types of cities that would take talent, take companies away.
Yeah.
Right.
So competitive with.
Yeah.
Right.
We talked a lot about it.
Yeah. And I think there are certain advantages. A lot of what we saw down there are certain real disadvantages.
Yep.
But ultimately, and we met with RTP, we know that crew.
Yeah, I know that crew too. Yeah.
And then coincidentally, I don't know if it was right before or right after.
It was right after.
That this article came out in the Globe. That
Literally
quoted,
a day after.
What was the headline?
It was Boston's biotech supremacy is at risk. Will a new city emerge as the leader of the life science industry?
Yeah.
We just got back to Boston from this trip to Raleigh-Durham. And we've been hearing forever about...
Shirley did a great job with that article, by the way.
Well, so did you. You're quoted in it, and obviously this is a topic that you know well. And there's a nice picture there of...
Oh, I didn't know you were pictured in that one.
Yeah, look at it. This was a Toronto...
Oh, the Toronto symposium, yeah.
And I think you said basically that, cities need to carve out their own path, right, and not try and imitate or be Boston.
Precisely.
Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, it's one of the most annoying... I shouldn't say that because
no, you're in a safe place.
The requests are still coming in.
Yeah.
But it's one of those annoying initial questions that or requests that I get sometimes. It's like, how do I become the next Kendall Square?
And we get people like on a retail level, we want to be Kendall Square.
Right.
So for all different...
Well, my answer, I'm such a wise guy. I'm like, well, just get Harvard and MIT to move to your town and you got it.
Yeah.
and that's just like the tip of the iceberg, right? But it's the question belies, it's such a red herring because that's not the point. People want authentic environments. They don't want copies and replica of a successful environment. People want an authenticity. So my counsel always is and will be, start with the natural assets and identity and culture of your place.
Yeah.
And work backwards from there to figure out how to feather in an innovation ecosystem. Don't try and replicate or copy the densest, most innovative square mile on the planet that just happens to be blessed with Harvard, MIT, dozens of world-class research institutions compressed in a walkable environment with the busiest T station in Greater Boston. I mean, I could go on and on.
Yeah, that's why it's laughable when someone says, "Yeah, we just want to create the next Kendall Square."
Yeah,
well, that's why the article says, it's Boston's not going to be replaced,
right?
But
or replicated,
yeah. But what has changed is, people are paying attention. People understand now that there is such a thing as anchor institution-based innovation. People understand, the principles, Jesse, that you were implementing, 2 decades ago about walkable, ground floor, authentic environments. People understand now that being an entrepreneur is actually really hard. Mm-hmm. And you have to think about things like affordable housing and having a fun environment. People have children, surprise, surprise, right? So you got to think about daycare, childcare, bilingual childcare. I mean, all of these things are not nice to haves; they're must haves. And people are economic developers, leaders, politicians are starting to understand that there's a complexity, but a formula to creating dense, vibrant, economically vibrant innovation ecosystem. So no one's going to take Boston's mantle. Mm-hmm. However, the diversity of environments that are now competing has increased over the past decade, and that's for sure.
I also love the way you explain it, because it's not really like creating an innovation ecosystem, which everyone talks about. This is just basic city building stuff.
Totally. Yeah, neighborhood building, city culture.
Yeah. It's like, how many times, it's funny, I'm rereading Jane Jacobs for the 3rd time, right? It's like, but I still encounter people that haven't even read it for the first time. It's like, how many times do we have to go through these principles about great cities? We've documented them for decades. Jane Jacobs wrote about this, 7 decades ago.
Yeah.
Just read her book, right? Read her book, Life and Death of Great American
But a lot of people
Cities.
don't want to do the work.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I go back to something you said? And there's so much to unpack here because like it would be so interesting to talk about like some of those other places you're seeing that are both impressive and unimpressive.
I'll remember to go back to that.
Your point about walkability and movement, ease of movement, that was one of the things that was a little bit interesting about being in Raleigh-Durham.
Yeah.
And I've been down there a lot. Like one of our partners, he owns a ton of retail real estate down there. I've been down there with Sam. It's obviously the North Pond guys team. But going down there on the food crawl and actually just with the lens of thinking about it in context of all the work we've done up here, all the chatter about competition, it was the walkability part. Yeah. Durham, okay, right? But like the triangle, it is vast and massive.
Yes.
But despite and it is not walkable at all.
Correct.
But it seems to be working for them.
It works because it's a to put it in these terms, it's a product that people want.
Yeah.
And it's a product that people appreciate for what it is.
Yeah.
If you need elbow room, if the format of your business requires low scale, low density, if you need a lot of space to potentially grow,
right?
If you want to control your employee base within a building, I mean,
some things you can't do here.
It's exactly right.
Right.
It's a product that people identify for what it is, and it works.
That resonates because the comparisons and look, some of the retail down there you have to drive to also. Like it's just not a walkable place.
Yeah, people are in cars.
Yes.
There. Yeah.
But
totally.
then you have a chance to do some really cool and interesting things in RTP, right? For example, the outdoor music scene in Raleigh-Durham is vastly superior.
Yeah.
To the outdoor music scene here.
Well, the weather helps.
The weather helps, but having
and they have more space.
The space, man, having the space for it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the culture.
Yeah. And it's cheaper. It is cheaper to live, although it's getting expensive now.
It is getting expensive.
So you have more creatives.
Well, they're spending money on parks. We know that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We saw the two most spectacular playgrounds that I've ever seen. And the first one was like beyond amazing urban park in
Tens
Cary.
of millions of dollars they invested in.
It was like a $60 million park.
Get out of here.
Downtown Cary, their park is incredible. Huh. And talk about like outdoor music, like landscape, water elements, shade elements,
but they had
play
tons
elements.
of space to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of Cary. And then the next day we went to the new Dorothy Dix playground and park, and that was like even more impressive. I mean, these are remarkable.
Cool. Yeah.
Remarkable public spaces.
Yeah.
Well, that just, I mean, again, and that points to another one of the strengths, right? Family oriented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of space and elbow room for, raising free range children, right?
Yep. And Travis, I guess just to stay on Raleigh-Durham for 1 second, are you actively in your work advising tenants? Is it real that they're saying Boston or Raleigh-Durham? Like are actual employers and big company, they are?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For certain functions
right.
and certain aspects of the innovation cycle. So, for example, we just worked with a company who was trying to figure out where to put their manufacturing. Their large-scale manufacturing. It makes no economic sense to put large-scale manufacturing in Greater Boston. The land basis is too high. It's too hard to assemble a large enough parcel of land. The economics start to get in the way of it, even though the talent is here, the proximity.
But even in a suburb or somewhere nearby, like that still doesn't make sense.
The cost basis of those properties, it is just not comparable to what you can get down in the, you can't see me using air quotes, but Raleigh-Durham in air quotes area. You can go to Cary, you can go to Holly Springs. You don't have to stay within Raleigh-Durham. Right. That entire region is actually super, super attractive. So when you put the two next to one another, And it happens quite frequently for a use like that. Yes, we are competitive in terms of workforce. Yes, our innovation environment is probably superior. But the math just doesn't work for certain competitions for us here in Massachusetts.
And is that the same for employees just trying to live, and have a life? Like after college, you think they'd stay here, but I imagine now they're being lured to all these other cities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got great outdoor music now. It's a lot cheaper. They got great barbecue.
Well, I was thinking as soon as
great barbecue. You can
we
get
could do great barbecue joint carry.
Oh, come on. That's
it was so good.
we actually did.
It was really good.
I'm from the Midwest. In Kansas City, we have some good barbecue, but it was pretty good.
So
let's keep talking about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to take us away from barbecue. So my last question,
because it's almost lunchtime.
I know it's complicated right now. What are the other places, cities, regions on that list with Boston, Raleigh, Durham right now when you're talking to those clients?
Yeah, I'll say our customers and clients are getting smarter. And so that list is getting more diverse depending on business needs.
Right.
So any day of the week.
Meaning like if you were looking for biomanufacturing versus like an office for AI, very different.
Completely different. If you're looking for, even sometimes down to, if you're looking for a cell and gene therapy company, versus you're a medical device company, if you're a diagnostics company, or if if you're in ag bio, or it's like. But to directly answer your question, so on the Eastern Seaboard, we see a ton of activity in Philadelphia. They've got some really cool,
like West and South Philly, I bet.
West, South Philly, some urban opportunities in Philly now that are really quite interesting. Obviously, in the Montgomery County area, which is kind of like Silicon Valley in that it's not a like a central location. It's more of a strip.
Maryland.
Yeah. So that poses both challenges and opportunities in that environment. Every once in a while, Charleston will pop up. Charleston, South Carolina will pop up, not as frequently as...
It's not underwater yet, so it kind of works.
They better hurry up if they want to be in the discussion.
No comment.
Yeah.
Leaving the coast and heading inland a little bit, Pittsburgh is pretty cool. And we're starting to see Nashville pop up in some of these pursuits.
Yeah, I mean, is that because culturally and they have a lot there to offer?
They have a lot to offer. Vanderbilt is
right.
Vanderbilt's just a great school. Moving westward, we don't see as much. You're from the Midwest, so you'll appreciate this. We don't see as much activity as I'd like to see in the Midwest. We're starting to see Indianapolis area pop up in some of these pursuits, particularly as it relates to large scale pharmaceutical manufacturing. We definitely will see some pursuits up in the Twin Cities, where I spent some time, as it relates to medical device. I should call it the Tri-Cities now because
of the hospital.
Yeah, because Mayo's getting really active up in Rochester. A shout out to Mayo. So some activity up in Minnesota, but not nearly enough.
Yeah, you would think just being central is always some sort of an advantage when you're doing business, but it just doesn't really turn out.
And like Sterling Bay was trying in Chicago, right? And
they
like
were trying.
Madison, like South Chicago, there are definitely markets that are trying to convince the Travises of the world that this is the next big spot.
Problem is, we just can't. Well, I've got two theories about it, but one is that there are just too many one-off projects, and there's not a lot of density of activity.
It's a scale issue.
So the scale issue. And the second is it's really hard to get that kind of a density in a mega city, right? Chicago, Los Angeles.
It's like almost too late.
It's too late and too big. There are too many diversions. Right. There's too much diversity in the economic realm.
Right. That's what people actually, the interesting part about Kendall, which most people don't realize, This is brownfield. It was undeveloped real estate that MIT, to their credit, assembled 60s, 70s, and then you have Volpe. Like, where do you have that much undeveloped land?
That's why, again, back to Philadelphia for a second, you've got this great project called the Bellwether District. You guys probably know about it, but former PES oil refinery sitting on the front door of the 8th largest city in the United States of America.
Hilco, right?
Hilco.
Yeah,
Hilco took that down, and they're doing some amazing stuff.
Thousands of acres, right?
Oh, yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah.
On the front door of a major metropolitan area.
Yeah, and it sits between the airport and the city.
Yeah.
Perfect location.
On the river. Yeah, a lot.
So West Coast, I mean, and then the last one, I'd say, West Coast, we're seeing some activity. Obviously, depending on your technology in Phoenix, some data center and tech activity out in Phoenix. Boulder goes through waves.
Yeah, interesting.
Of competitiveness. And then obviously Silicon Valley, Bay Area, San Diego.
And these are all the cities you've been traveling to constantly.
Yeah. Constantly.
Speaking of like the one-off smaller scale, but trying and having some pockets of success, would you put Salt Lake City in that zone? Like they're trying, right?
They're trying. They did. They had a nice pop in activity post-COVID.
Yeah.
As people were leaving California, for lots of different reasons. And so we saw a lot of tech companies, tech-enabled life sciences companies relocate. I think the major question for Salt Lake is, can we sustain that level of interest, entrepreneurship, investment in order to create a native innovation ecosystem, not one that has been imported as a result of difficulty in another environment. That's the challenge going forward for Salt Lake.
And I was also expecting to hear some Texas in there, whether it's Austin or Houston. But I think actually Houston might have been mentioned at some point in this article.
Yeah.
Houston's more medical, right?
Houston is more of a healthcare ecosystem. Houston is so interesting. I've got so much I could say about Houston.
Well, I'm trying to convince my wife that Houston's got it going on right now.
Yeah.
You are?
Yes, because our past and history there, maybe 10 years ago, all she remembers is parking lots and cement and and highway. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot going on in the arts. The food industry is different down there. Like it seems like stuff is going on down there.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly things that are going on. I think the challenge, particularly for people who come from these
is rice and
these old by American standards, these old cities that are accustomed to density, accustomed to walkability, and accustomed to all the trappings that you get from New York, Boston, Philly. Yeah. That ain't Houston.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think that's part of it.
If you go to Houston looking for that,
right,
you'll be sorely disappointed.
Right. Same with Phoenix, though, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to really have a different vision for urbanity the moment you set foot in Dallas and Houston.
Yeah, The other thing that unites every single city you mentioned is, to your earlier point, anchor institutions, strong education, research.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, totally.
Cool.
Are there any, I don't want to get you in trouble, but that's what I try and do to our guests.
We can edit out, by the way.
Are there any cities that people are like talking about where you just think it's mostly hype and it's just probably not going to happen? Like, oh, well, we want to go here. And you're like, okay, let's go. You go there and it just doesn't seem like it's what everyone's talking about.
Yeah. Actually, no. I mean, it's like
smart answer.
No. I mean, but
we could block that state.
No, it's an authentic answer.
Well, Travis is an attorney. He didn't mention that. He's
no, but I think that if everyone of all these cities can live within their means, so to speak, and not try to be something that they're not, then you can see them as being economically vibrant for what they are. And they all have something to offer culturally. They have something to offer economically that is unique. so long as they don't try and be someone that they're not.
It does sound like a lot of these cities understand what they're good at and what they have to offer, and they're leaning into that. And this thought that like they're trying to be Boston, maybe that's the hype.
I think that's the hype. Yeah. I mean, I blame maybe the marketers or whoever it is by saying,
some of the electeds too, by the way.
Yeah, some of the elected, like, come to my city. It's the next great Boston or whatever. That kind of misses the point and does their own, and paradoxically, does their city an injustice by pushing that message.
This is so right on point to some of the stuff we've been talking to Wexford about in Baltimore and some of our work with them down there.
Baltimore is so cool.
Yeah, it's every time I go down there, I discover something that makes it more interesting, more compelling.
Yeah.
Also more challenging.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Montgomery County and Philly, and we have this connectivity in the Northeast on that Amtrak corridor from Washington to Boston that just feels like there's so much more room to run.
Yeah.
In places like Baltimore and Providence.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff just hasn't stuck. And I think it goes back, it's really resonating what you're saying, Travis, which is that so much of the effort at times, particularly from electeds, and you see it sometimes, although we certainly don't see it with UMB, with university administrators who just don't recognize the talent they're dealing with, and they don't recognize the assets and some of the challenges relative to places like Boston.
Right.
And once they get over that, it's like, oh, wow, okay, this could work.
That's a perfect way of describing, I think, the transition that Baltimore is going through.
Yeah.
It's like, stop trying to be DC.
Yeah, totally.
Don't try and be Philly.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's actually something really in between. There's an identity that is very unique about Baltimore.
Good pronunciation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Try that, man.
Don't think I didn't notice that.
I'll tell you. And there are people who are in the private sector, in the public sector, nonprofit. They're passionate, like really passionate. That's the one thing you can say about Philadelphia is that people, love it or hate it, people are really, really, really passionate about their city.
Yeah. You see it
and you're starting to see that in Baltimore too.
Yeah. You see it.
I love Philly.
After the Eagles win the Super Bowl, you see that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a different kind of passion, Drew.
The telephone
it's a
poles
different kind of passion.
When they beat the Chiefs. Yeah. Anyway.
This is a good combo, right, Drew?
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. I was nervous. I admit it.
You were nervous.
I feel unprepared. It's just been so busy.
But that's just Drew.
Yeah.
I was like,
probably
Drew,
so.
It's going to be great with Travis. Just get him on, get him talking. There's so much overlap.
Cybertruck just went by. Everything's great. Are we kidding ourselves in the restaurant business, and as we work with chefs and restaurateurs and then the landlords who want to get them in their buildings, are we kidding ourselves when we think restaurants and these small retail shops make these places attractive investments and investment areas for life sciences?
I don't think you're kidding yourselves at all. If anything, I think you're underselling the real strategic importance of having a venue and an environment for people to get together in a serendipitous kind of a way. There's too little. Every new app or every new structured environment that we create via our cell phones or what have you minimizes the capacity for us to have unstructured, serendipitous interactions. And restaurants and that entire restaurants, cafe, that's the last place where you can go and just bump into people, hang, go by yourself, have a drink, have a great meal, and experience authenticity, right? It's one of the last domains for that.
Yeah, actual human connection.
Yeah. So you're not kidding yourselves at all.
I like that answer a lot.
Yeah,
it's totally powerful.
Yeah. And I also had a thought, you obviously work with a ton of different landlords.
Yeah.
Although maybe actually not as many as we might think, because there are probably less players in this industry than than some might think.
Especially now. I bet a lot of people there were a lot of people wanting to play in your world.
Yes.
There are probably many realizing today that, maybe that's something I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, a lot of people have gotten their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah, feelings to say yeah. And are there any who are just doing a great job at this right now? And you can't mention everybody, obviously, you're working with, but like, are there any projects where you're like, this is really what it's all about?
Or tenants that are like, show up for a tour and
same.
like, wow, I want to be here.
Yeah.
It would be unfair to call out and point out certain landlords and certain projects because there's like a ton of really, really, really good stuff going on. But I will, at the risk of pissing off.
Well, maybe let me turn it around. What is exciting you right now? But some of the things that some of the landlords are doing that are exciting you right now.
One that's near and dear to my heart, and Jesse probably is near and dear to yours, is the Biomed Realty project in Kendall Square that has the performance venue on.
It's the Global Arts Lab
Global
space.
Arts Labs.
Actually, ULI just did an event there. Noah was there 2 days ago. But go on. Is that 585, Kendall? What's the end? Something like that?
Yeah, 585 or something like that.
Sorry, it's right on 3rd Street, though.
Yeah, it's a project that is finally reaching a level of maturity after 2.5-3 decades.
Yeah.
Used to be a gas transfer station, a real missing tooth right in the heart of Kendall Square. The previous owner had promised a performance venue. And for lots of reasons, the land lay fallow for well over a decade and a half.
Where everything around it developed.
Everything else around it, but this missing tooth just got wider and wider, so to speak.
Yeah.
BMR picked it up, and the easy thing to do would have been to go to the community and say, "Oops, we're the new owner. Let's maximize the revenue on this site, et cetera, et cetera." But they chose to do the hard thing. And I have a lot of respect for that.
And that's fulfill the promise of the previous.
Fulfill the promise.
Yeah.
And integrate it into the plan for the building. Fulfill the community promise. I have a lot of respect for any developer that chooses to walk that path.
That does what they say they're going to do and does what the community wants them to do.
Yeah. And that's it.
And by the way, like economics, like I think given the tenant they landed there, I'm sure that's going to work for them.
It will work.
Is it Takeda?
I think so. Yeah.
I think in the whole building. Yeah.
I don't know.
So that one's exciting to me for lots of different reasons. The architecture, the design, the community engagement, the role it's going to fill in sort of continuing to enrich Kendall Square.
I will also say
that one's really exciting.
To piggyback on all the great stuff that Biomed did, I think it also in some ways is a product of some people in the community that continue to advocate for decades. And I do think the city of Cambridge on this particular project was pretty clear what they needed to see to get on board with the project. And they didn't cave. And so often you see, put the community aside for a second, which is impossible to do, but we see so many municipalities in our work that are so eager for these community economic development dollars, whether it's through caving on what they're requiring developers to do or giving all sorts of preferential tax treatment. They just want it so bad they give up so much.
Yeah.
And this is a scenario where they held firm, and I think the product, and it was multi-pronged approach, I am with you. It's not what I thought you were going to say, by the way, but like we didn't work on that project. We've been looking at it and advocating for it for a long time, but like it is impressive.
It is by so many measures.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Couldn't escape Kendall.
For that. Yeah. But there's one other one that I love, that I think is really cool. In Texas, the project is called Pegasus Park.
Not in any of our docs. Comps.
What area?
Pegasus Park.
It's over by UT Southwestern. It's a project that was born out of a collaboration with Lyda Hill Philanthropies, And if, without going into too much detail or gushing too terribly much about Lyda Hill Philanthropies, let's just say having a community leader of her stature in Dallas-Fort Worth with the passion for investing in the scientific community and advancing science, not just within DFW, but nationwide, made all the difference in the world. And it's another one of those projects which is this intersection between developer passion, investor passion, the community, entrepreneurship, and really, with the desire of creating a linchpin community area.
Good public space.
Great public space.
We gotta check it out.
Yeah, check. I highly recommend checking.
And it's
checking
more in the
out Pegasus
Dallas-Fort
Park.
Worth area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Dallas-Fort Worth officially on the board as a potential.
I was
food
about
crawl.
to ask him, to ask Travis where we should go on our next food crawl, knowing what
To
you know
learn.
about some of these cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mixture of food, but ultimately we want to see what's going on in certain cities that's exciting.
Like we'll meet with like a couple developers, like in Raleigh-Durham, we met with a friend of Graffito and FOG who owns some retail, owns the hotel we stayed at.
Yeah.
And then we met with RTP.
Okay.
Research
Triangle Park. Yeah.
Where should you go on your next?
Take your time. Drew can edit out blank time here.
Yeah.
So just take your time to think about it.
We've been to Miami.
Okay.
Philly, DC, Chicago.
Philly you did before. It was a
true.
long time ago.
That's true. We could go back to Philly.
But Chicago, Atlanta we did.
He did Atlanta. Okay.
Nothing in Texas.
Nothing that far down, no.
Yeah, I if you're gonna go to Texas, I would definitely recommend. This is controversial. The knee jerk reaction would be to say Austin.
Correct.
Sure.
The second reaction would be to say Houston.
Okay.
But I'm actually gonna recommend you go to DFW.
Okay.
Good barbecue.
Yeah, good. And queso.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah. Definitely put it on your list.
Miami was interesting. You said you're just down there, and we do a lot of work with Wexford. We adore those guys and continue to work with them. It's a 10-year relationship. They had some stuff near Miami Health on the other side of 95, Overton area.
Okay.
That we worked on pre-pandemic. Miami is one of those cities. We had a great food crawl down there.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it is just, spent some time in Little River up to the north.
Yeah.
We were in Little Havana. Like, we were around.
Yeah.
And that was one of those cities, at least for me, I'm not sure how you feel, Drew, where it was like, we saw a ton, but there was so much more to see in Miami. We ended up all the way out near the airport to Factory Town. And
it's overwhelming.
Halea. I mean, Miami was good.
Yeah, I thought Miami was good.
Yeah.
Well, think on it, and you get back to us.
I will think on it. I mean, I will say this. Even uttering these words is amazing to me. But I had some great meals in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, for sure. Minneapolis is great.
Yeah.
Ann Kim has 4 restaurants that are out of this world.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Really, really.
And more than just Ann, there's so many good restaurants there.
So many good restaurants.
Ethnic restaurants.
Yeah. So surprisingly great
it's a very
restaurants.
very diverse place. Great restaurant culture.
Challenging innovation environment.
Yeah.
It hasn't really ever hit its stride.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say it this way, but I think it's, from an innovation perspective, underperforming.
Yeah.
It could certainly provide more.
Yeah. Am I remembering correct? Don't you have some Midwest connections?
Yeah. My wife's from which she wouldn't describe herself as being from, but yes, she was born and raised in the Midwest.
Where?
Iowa.
Iowa, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
She not proud of her home state? Or did she leave when she was early?
Extended family is from New York, just like me. And so she hews both in name and in personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the Midwest.
Yeah.
To New York.
I mean, I'm very proud of it. I was born in Oklahoma 10 years and then Kansas.
Is Oklahoma the Midwest?
That's a great question.
I've always
Plain
considered
State.
it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's Great Plains. I mean, I think I have the answer. I'm not convinced. What else do we have here?
I have a couple questions.
Can we not talk about barbecue? I'm getting really hungry.
so
a couple questions. They're kind of nerdy.
Yeah, go for it.
In terms of like misunderstood narrative about the current state of life sciences, like what comes to mind?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, you know, the life sciences is dead, and it's certainly not. You don't need to go much farther than Caltech, Stanford, UCSD, Harvard, Vandy. I mean, you name it. Sit down with these tech transfer offices, Johns Hopkins, and the amount of innovation and the perspective that of these companies that are being creative. There is literally no better time to be alive. When you see some of the R&D that's taking place in the life sciences, it's incredible.
Do you credit that theory that it's dead to politics, to some of these failed real estate projects? I mean, does that just contribute to that in the public?
Yeah, three metrics really. One is the real estate aspect of it,
which is what we hear about the most.
Which is what we hear about the most. Yeah. It's the physical manifestation of the life sciences.
Yeah, when you see a vacant built out building and you see it vacant, and there are a lot of them, emotionally, it's like, it's hard not to jump to, God, this industry is messed.
Yeah, and then I think the second is a really unfortunate lack of trust towards the scientific community. Yeah. And I won't get into
we leave that stuff aside.
My theories. Yeah. But there's just this like a very pervasive, unhealthy, and unjustified lack of trust for science. And then lastly, there's sort of just the federal politics of it, but it is not dead.
I think actually 2 and 3 are kind of related, clearly.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, one might have led to the other.
Yeah.
And so, are we in a correction, like a recalibration or a reinvention of the life sciences real estate, or is it just, has it always been strong? It's just we're seeing things that,
Yeah, I mean, how deep do you want to get into? I mean,
you have 2.5 minutes. No, I'm just joking. No, I mean,
look, I mean, I think
where are we?
Yeah, there are two big things that are taking place. One is, at least in the United States, we overbuilt.
Right.
We built too much, too fast, in the wrong geographies.
Are you speaking life sciences or generally?
Just the life sciences.
Okay. Because I mean,
I don't think we'd say that about housing.
No, not
right.
Housing. It's like the exact opposite. But in the life sciences, we built too much, too fast, in the wrong geographies. And so as a result, we were in very acute disequilibrium as it relates to supply and demand.
It's just that simple, right?
It's that simple.
Yeah.
The second factor, though, which is equally as transformational, is the enabling technologies with which we engage in research and development are evolving rapidly. Artificial intelligence, automation, machine learning have really challenged what it means to engage in R&D, what you need to use physical space for, in what concentrations, in what geographies, right? This whole notion of a self-driving automated lab, or you get companies like Roche and Eli Lilly that are committing to use artificial intelligence for all preclinical asset identifications 100% by the end of this year. It's transforming how we think about what actually happens within space with us carbon-based life forms, right? How should we be using it? How should we be working? In what concentrations? Do I actually need to be located in Greater Boston? There's a thought. Do I actually need to be located in Greater Boston if so much of my preclinical work is being driven by artificial intelligence, right? And so those two forces are working in concert with one another such that, yeah, it's a correction. It's totally a correction. It's a complete redefinition of what it means to be in the life sciences from a real estate perspective. And that I think is a storyline that not enough people are digesting in totality. We have some people that are focused on the disequilibrium, and then some people who are focused on, AI, but the two are having an effect on one another in ways in which are really hard to predict.
Well, it's so interesting because just to hear it that way, as real estate practitioners, what we really should be hearing is life science real estate is in trouble. Because of all these things, probably changing the way we have to design buildings. We built in the wrong places, all this stuff. It doesn't actually mean life science is in the doldrums and in trouble. Right. That's what you're saying, which is so
exactly
powerful.
Right. And if you think of it, and if we give it time, every economic cycle, every technology, every time this occurs, the moment you make these tools cheaper and more ubiquitous, the effect is an increase in the rate of entrepreneurship and an increase in the rate of efficacy. So science is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right? If anything, it's going to spread. We just have to ensure that the infrastructure for that science is appropriate, at the right scale, in the right locations, and made available at the right time.
And in comes Travis and JLL, now going back to your
with
role.
the right restaurants.
Right. With the right restaurants.
Right. Hey, man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We don't want to keep you much longer. Where are you going on this cool motorcycle after this? What's your day like?
I hate to actually admit this, but I looked out at my travel calendar over the next 6-8 weeks, and I'm going to be on the road so much. I decided today is the day to winterize the bike.
Okay.
What the heck does that look like?
Yeah,
you put it in the garage for 6 months.
Put it in the garage.
Okay, thank you.
Cover it up.
For me, it just means leaving my actual bicycle right behind you. It's been here for weeks.
The hand pads come out.
No hand pads. If I catch you with hand pads, man.
Well, now I have to do it.
So this was the final ride, maybe.
This is the final ride.
Well, I hope it was worth it.
It totally was.
All right.
It's a beautiful day out.
Yeah, now we got to figure out lunch because I don't know if my stomach is literally.
I'm thinking about that place in Cary. That turkey.
Lawrence's?
What?
It was called Lawrence's.
Lawrence's, yeah.
Lawrence's, Lawrence barbecue. Oh man, it's the best turkey.
They had a barbecued turkey that kind of
smoked
blew us away.
No,
it was like
because normally it's not good.
Yeah, it's like
you don't want turkey.
I wouldn't.
We just got such a big platter, and we just said bring everything. It was like the last thing on there, and it was like whoa.
We doubled up on it. It was that good. Yeah, and their sides were excellent.
Yeah,
and sides make a dish.
Sides make it.
Yeah,
sides make it for sure.
Yeah. Man, thank you.
Thank you. This is great.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks. A very snappy ending.
It's great.
Travis, thank you so much for coming. I want to make it.
I thought it was great.
Oh, okay, all right.
I thought it was great.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Travis.
Talk to you soon. Yeah.